Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video you'll see a flick through and review of the Age of Darkness rulebook for Warhammer, the Horus Heresy. Here we go, here's the Age of Darkness rulebook, and in this video I'll go right through the book so you can have a good look at everything that's included, and then hopefully that'll give you a good idea as to whether or not you'd like to get yourself a copy. So this will be an overview of the book, and if you're interested in the rules in particular, I am doing a how to play Horus Heresy rule series starting this week. So there'll be lots of videos that go deep on how to play the game. So all up, this is 336 pages. It's in this big chunky book. We've got the nice hardback, and it just feels like great quality. You also get this black ribbon so you can mark your pages and see where you've left off. And then on the back you just get a brief introduction, and it explains exactly what's going to be included, and it's going to provide you with all the lore, the rules and background you need to play the game. But really nice cover. I love the artwork they've gone with this whole Horus Heresy line and with the new game. I think it's fantastic, really sets the scene well, and I love the choice of Mark 6 armour. This Corvus armour is just really iconic, and I think it just looks fantastic on the models, but also in the artwork too. So let's get it open and we'll start going through, and right away you're welcomed with this nice map. You even get a key with it as well, so you can look at all the different elements, and then you're greeted with a little introduction. Some nice artwork there. And then the contents page. So we're going to see a background to the Age of Darkness, the lore for Horus Heresy, and we're going to also learn about all the different legions, and this is a really great section. Then we've got the core rules, the unit types, battlefield terrain, special rules, and gaming in the Age of Darkness. So they've managed to put everything just on that one contents page. So nice and brief, and I think it's really well laid out, and you'll see that as we go through the book. I think they've done a great job on this. And then as we open up, we're going to get our introduction more to the hobby and the game itself. And then all through the book, you're going to see some brilliant artwork, some great photography. And this is no exception here, the Age of the Emperor. So this is where we get a real background right from the beginning to learn all about Horus Heresy. So if you're not up on the lore like me, I'm not big on the lore for Horus Heresy, so this is going to be a real interesting read. I've skimmed over it and had a quick look, but I really want to spend some time reading through all this. And the good thing about it is that it's not too much there, so I think within an evening you could sit down and really get up to speed with the lore for the game. So it's not going to take too long at all, and it's really nicely broken down into sections, accompanied by some brilliant artwork. I mean, this double page spread here is fantastic. And then we've got some nice big pages as well, really focusing on the individual characters. So this is a really nice insight and a great way to get into the game, I think. Then we're going to learn about the Imperium of Mankind. And so it really breaks it down in these nice, easily to digest sections. Keep working through. Again, brilliant artwork all the way through the whole book. This is an interesting one, showing you the stages of Space Marine surgical initiation. And then we go through the armour. This is a great section. You look at the weapons, it tells you about those, and then it's going to go through all the different armour types. So you've got your Mark 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, the Corvus armour that will feature in the game. And then we're on to the different legions. This is going to be quite a big section. So from here, we're on page 41. And what you're going to get is about 4 pages for each legion. And this is going to just give you an introduction to what they're about, a little bit of the history, a little bit about how the legion works and how it's put together. And then you're going to see some iconography, a nice image of them in the armour, and then a bit about the Primarch as well. So this is really great. If you're not sure which legion to go with your army that you get in the box, then this is a really good place to start. I've been really trying to decide for a long time now. I was fixed on Raven Guard, but now I'm thinking I might go Dark Angels, because in Horus Heresy their armour is black, so I could use them for Raven Guard and Dark Angels, so that's the way I'm thinking. But I do want to play them in 40k as well, so I might put a little bit of a really rich dark green into it as well. Not 100% sure yet, but it is going to be between Dark Angels and Raven Guard, but either way I'm going to be painting the whole army black. But if you're not sure, this is a brilliant way to start, and as you can see, it's going to work through all the different legions, and that layout is going to be the same. You learn about the Primarch and the look of the army, so a brilliant section. And I'll go through this quickly now, because this is going to continue all the way through, going through all the different ones. Space Wolves. I was tempted to do Space Wolves, but I do have a large Space Wolves 40k army already, so I wanted to try something a bit different. So yeah, lots and lots to look at here. So a really good way to decide who you want to play. And this is going to go on for a big section of the book. So from page 41 right through, let's have a look, where are we? There's the Raven Guard. Don't they look cool in the black? Such a simple scheme, but I think it looks awesome. There we go. So from page 41 right up until page 112, you're only learning about the legions. So I think that's a really good way to go, because that's what this game's all about, picking that legion and then really going to war based on the look of the army, the lore behind them, and the gameplay as well. So yeah, really nice that. Then we've got the Talons of the Emperor. So now you're going to learn about different armies: Sisters of Silence, Legio Custodes, the Assassins. Then you've got the Solar Auxilia. This book for the Imperium isn't coming out until October, so I'm really interested in playing the Solar Auxilia in this game as well. So that could be something I move into later on. So you're going to get a little insight into those. The Mechanicum. And then once you've done that, we move on to an Age of Darkness. Now we're going to get a bit more lore there on a few pages, and then we're going to start getting to know the pivotal events of the Horus Heresy. And this is great. Again, I've only had a quick look at this. I want to spend some time sitting down reading through this whole book, really, because I love it. I love the layout, I love the content, and I think this is a really nice part of the book. We're going to go through all these events now in a timeline, and so this is really going to get you up to speed about different battles and events. And you could even pick these out and then play a narrative game based on one of these battles. So I think that's going to be really fun and a great aspect of this game. Then a little bit more to read about. A really nice map again. I think that could well be the same one that's on the cover there. And then we're going to move to the rules section. So now we're on page 147. So we've gone through quite a chunk there. We've learnt about the lore, the timeline and the legions. But now it's time to learn about how to play the game. So this is going to be quite wordy when you look at it, but if you've been playing 40k, I think a lot of it will make sense, and a lot of it's really just saying like what you do, like with dice rolls and things like that. So if you're into these games, that's second nature really. But this breaks down the models and units, and then we'll start looking at how to form a unit, and then general principles. So things like cock dice, you know, that's a big section, really. You know what to do if the dice is cocked. So a lot of this you're not going to have to remember because you know these principles already. Then we got blast markers and templates, leadership tests, the turn, and you're also going to get a turn summary. So this will break down exactly how that works. And you've got the new thing called reactions, which are fantastic, a really fun part of the game. Been watching a few battle reports and seeing these in action is really great. So yeah, I love that they've included that. There's some really nice aspects to this game that I'm really excited about. So I can't wait to get playing it. Here's quite a big section on the reactions. But again, I think once you've read this, actually implementing it in the game is going to be pretty straightforward. So. And then we got the core reactions. So you see all them all on one page, and then each legion will get their own reactions that are unique to them and their game style. Then we're on to the movement phase, and then how to keep your models all in unit coherency. Some examples here, nice clear examples as well. That's something they've done well in this book. They've got some like graphics, but then they've got photos as well. So really well done how they put that together. One thing I did notice here was for this moving vertically. It says here that this Space Marine has a movement of 7 inches. So he moves 4 across, and then he moves 3 up, but he's also moving 1 across to get onto the ledge. So I think this is a nice way to do it, where you just measure across and then up, and then just pop them on the ledge. So it just makes sense, because I mean that could be like a slight angle, I don't know, but yeah, that's going to save a lot of measuring and fiddling around. You basically just move across, get in base contact with the piece of terrain, measure up the height, and then you can go on there. So I like how they've done that, and hopefully that's how it does work. But from the explanation here, I mean, that's how it says it, so yeah, that's how I'll play it. If you think that's an error though, please let me know in the comment section below. Then we're going to go on to the shooting phase. Again, it's quite wordy, there's a lot of writing here to read through, but I think a lot of that is just fluffed out. So when I do the how to play series this week, I'll just be picking out the actual rules and not going too much on all this fluff that's included. So just getting to the point, making it as simple as I can, using the visuals as examples so that you can see it all in action. Tells you how to choose your target, selected your weapon, and then you've got these tables then to look at. So when you're going against your strength against the target's toughness, there's going to be a little table to follow. And a really cool thing about this game is if your strength is so low that it's well below the target's toughness, you can't do any wounds on it. So that's awesome. You're not going to be able to take out a vehicle with like a pistol, for example. So that's a really good part of the game. Makes a lot of sense too. So yeah, you can see here there's a lot of rules, but I think a lot of it's intuitive from what I've read so far. Once I start playing it out on the table and making the rule series up, I'll have a much better idea. But it does, a lot of it makes sense. And this is really nice how they've included this for the different weapons. So rapid fire, up to your maximum range you get 1 shot, up to half it's 2 shots. So, you know, 40k, if you've been playing that, this is going to be very familiar. And then you've got all the different weapon types. So that's a really nice reference chart, and this helps to really put it across exactly what each of the weapon types can do. Then we've got charging through difficult terrain. We're into the assault phase now. Again, lots of writing here, but we can remove a lot of that text and just bring out the main points. Fighting in the sub phase. And the good thing is with the reactions, it's every phase you can react in, so you can have 1 reaction in each phase. So that's really good. So movement, shooting, and the assault phase, you get to react in your opponent's turn. The roll to hit, roll to wound tables, again, really nice mechanic how they've included that. So yeah, looking at it at first, I was like, oh wow, this is a lot of writing here, a lot to read through. I mean, just for the assault phase, look at all this text. But I do like how it is broken down. So yeah, it does make sense, and I think once I get those videos up, it's going to be a lot simpler than this. Then we've got morale, how to fall back and move around terrain and around other units. And that's the main rules. So that's the main rules section there. It's not too bad, pretty big though, but I think, you know, it's going to be alright once we start breaking it down into a number of videos. So a good chunk of pages there, what, from 147 to 193. So yeah, not too bad. But then we go on to the unit types and then extra rules. So we're what, halfway, just over halfway through the book now, and we're going to get to even more rules that we can add complexity to the game and more interest to it. So once you've learnt the core rules, played a few games, you start maybe moving in to the more difficult rules. But you've also got to look at different vehicles, different unit types, and that's all going to be laid out here. Psychic powers is going to come into it later on. Vehicles is a good section though. I think with the Spartan being included, you will need to look at this. And it's got firing arcs, which I think is a brilliant idea. And this is, you know, in 40k, you can shoot from if only one part of your vehicle can see the opponent. But with this, you know, if I can see the opponent from that section of the vehicle, I can't use the weapons in the front. So that's really good. It makes a lot of sense, and it's going to make you move your vehicle to get in the prime position to take a shot. And you do things like pivoting your vehicle before you move and things like that. So yeah, that's a really good mechanic as well. I think how they've done the vehicle rules for this game is brilliant. I really like it. So lots to look at for vehicles again. And it goes through all the different phases and how the vehicles are used, disembarking, embarking. So this is a pretty decent section. Knights and Titans, flyers, and then we're on to battlefield terrain. I love terrain in any game, skirmish game or the big war games like this. So really interesting to look at how they're putting the rules together for this. I've looked at the different rules for the craters and things, and that's something I don't have, but really suit the aesthetic of the game. So I want to get some craters built up and use those, because you're going to get some benefits from being in a crater, but also it's going to hinder you if you're moving through it. You're also going to get bonuses to your saves if you're in certain types of terrain and things like that, and that's a different way of doing things as well. It's got some data sheets for terrain that you can use, and then we're on to special rules. So now we're on to page 231, and we can start getting into lots of different rules now. So we've got barrage, and then we can use our templates for the different effects from blast weapons. You can blinded, bulky, all these keywords with different rules. So there's quite a lot here to add to the complexity of it, and once you've played a few games of the basic rules, I think it's going to be fun to grow and add these rules into it. And especially when you play different missions, I think these rules are probably going to play a key part in the narrative of it as well. So yeah, lots here, lots to add to the game if you want to. This section now is going to show us a few armies that some of the people at Games Workshop put together, and then it's going to tell us about the different ways we can play the game. So some really nice full army double page photos, which I love from these books. Fantastic, such well painted models, and the terrain just brilliant. And so here is another one, the Sons of Horus. So this is great inspiration for when you're painting your own army. The Iron Hands, the Word Bearers, Salamanders, Night Lords, and the Raven Guard. I mean, it looks so cool in the black and with the white shoulder pad. I think that's really good. The Death Guard, the Solar Auxilia, and then we've got the different types of play now. So we've got narrative, campaign, open play, and match play, and also team play here. And so they do state in the book that narrative play is the main way of playing this game. And like I said earlier, if you want to play one of the battles from the timeline, that's a great way to do it. And here it tells you how to prepare for battle now. So you'll recognise these logos if you pay 40k, because the different unit types have got the same one. So that's going to make things nice and simple. And then it tells you exactly how to put them together. You've got a Crusade Force organisation chart there. And then who's the allies in the Age of Darkness, so you can see if you want to team up maybe and have all allies playing against the heretics, then you can do that. Warlord traits. And then you've got some little battlefield showcases, so just showing you how it looks. And I like the way the terrain's done in this. Very kind of flat almost, not too many places to hide it looks like in this game, but lots of pieces of scenery that are going to cause some trouble moving over, but also to give you a little bit of cover to hide behind, like here with all these scatter terrain pieces. So this is a section I really want to get stuck into, the terrain, and see which is going to work best when designing the different battlefields. But it looks like it's quite open in its gameplay, but just putting in those smaller pieces of terrain to add interest and some cover mechanics. And then we're going to keep going through that. So large section there on the terrain, how to deploy the different deployment maps. And then this breaks down the first turn, the game length, things like that, victory points. And then you've got different ways to get your primary objectives. First blood, last man standing, things like that. Objective markers, mission special rules, night fighting. So lots and lots going on. Then we've got some missions. So we've got Blood Feud, Onslaught, and they'll each give you secondary objectives too. So you can see what the secondary objectives are as well. So it's all laid out on that one page. So it gives you a few missions to play. What's that? 6 missions all together to work through. Some more great photos. That's really cool. And then some psychic disciplines at the end. And then we're going to get some reference sheets. Now you do get the reference sheets included with this, which I'm doing a video on separately, and it's only going to be a very short video just to show you what's included. So if you're wondering what's included on those reference sheets, check out that video real soon. But here you can see it's got those in there as well, the different tables, so you can go there and check it. Then it's got core reactions, what the different weapons do. So this is going to be a really helpful section. Then at the back, we've got the index. Some nice images again, some photos of the different models, and these are all the ones included in the Age of Darkness box set. Some books if you want to get reading about the Horus Heresy and your Primarchs in particular, and then we're going to finish on another map. There you go, there's the Warhammer Horus Heresy Age of Darkness rulebook overview, and I hope this has given you a good idea as to what to expect from this book. So if you want to go out and grab the Age of Darkness box set, now you know exactly what you're going to get for your money. I love these new edition box set releases, and I've made loads of videos for the Horus Heresy, including the unboxing. I'll be going through the reference sheet and also the instruction book, and then I'm also going to go through looking at each unit you get in the set and then talking about the different build options and weapons that are included with them. So basically I've gone through and thought about all the questions I had prior to getting the box, and then I've tried to answer those in those videos. So they're all going to be available on the channel too. If you'd like to order the box set for yourself, then I'll put some links in the description below to Element Games, Wayland Games, and my local game store, The Little Shop DVD and Games. And with those, you can save up to 20% on the retail price. Some are out of stock, but more is coming in. But if you can take a look at Wayland Games, as I made the video, they've still got some in stock, and also my local game store too. So all the links are down below. They're also affiliate links, so you'll be supporting the channel if you buy through them. So thanks so much if you do that. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.